KB3 WBX, and the last time I heard me on your YouTube, my audio sounded pretty good, but I thought it had too much bass, so I took a little bit out. But besides that, mine's pretty much the same. I don't touch it too much.
Yeah, I'm not touching it too much either. Normally when I get a new mic, I start from scratch. This time I plugged it in. It sounded pretty good. When I first plugged it in, the lows were way too much because the mic is very, very warm. So I just had to pull back the lows a little bit, and because I still like that real low end. And I think this is just right.
Yeah, it has a real nice low end, and it's real super clean. And the bass is really bassy, but it's clean. It don't have none of that run together. It sounds very nice.
Well, thank you. So what's going on, DJ? What are the plans for the weekend?
So you doubled with the non-mating call there. Well, I may. Carol's going to wash the floors tomorrow, and I'm going to maybe work a little bit on the. I haven't had a chance to work on the series, babysitting the little guy there, so I may work on that tomorrow. And then Sunday, she wants to go in the Saturday and do a little bit of shopping, get some stocking stuffers for the grandkids. So that's probably about it. Not a whole lot else. It's supposed to be 54 tomorrow or something. Nice and balmy. So, but other than that, it's just kind of dead around here.
And who just joined us with the non-mating call?
Well, I heard 2 mating calls.
Well, no, I heard it too right before I started keying. I thought it was done. Oh, and Mike's on the live stream. What's up, Mike? KG2MM. Why don't you hop in here, brother?
I was just watching Tucker Carlson having that interview with Alex Jones, and all the stuff that Alex Jones has said in the past and how the predictions have come true. Tucker's talking to him about how does he figure all that out, and he said it's all to do with reading all the reports of all the different things that are out there, and like the New World Order, they're out there saying on doing. And he says you got to take them seriously because everything they've done so far is to take over and get rid of us peons because we are nothing to them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, they outed that Republican George Santos here on Long Island. And what do you know? A very popular Democrat, Long Island Democrat, said, I'm going to run for his seat. It's like, you really can't make this stuff up. They have a slight majority, but now it's at risk.
Well, didn't they find some gold bars in his place, too?
No. That's a Democrat. He's still there. He's still there. They found gold bars sewed into his suit jackets, and now the gold bars earlier in the week. I don't know if you guys heard this, Jeff. You might have heard this. The gold bars earlier in the week, and that's Mendez, by the way, in Jersey, were traced back as stolen by a very wealthy man here in America. And the man that it was stolen from is the man that's accused of bribing the congressman that had the gold bars. You can't make this up.
Back in 2013.
Is that what they said? It was stolen in 2013?
I think that's what I read.
Well, if you're going to use gold to bribe somebody, it's really good to report it's stolen, because you could say, how could I have used that gold? I reported it stolen in 2013.
Corruption, 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 and more corruption. It just, yeah.
Well, Jeff, at least you have Fetterman.
I don't know if that's saying very much or not. I don't know. I think he's related to Joe or something.
Is that Fetterman?
Yeah, I was being facetious. Hold on, let me see if I have it. I remember when the election was happening, they interviewed this older woman on the street, and they go, "Who are you voting for, Fetterman or Dr. Oz?" And she says, "Well, I'm not sure about Fetterman. He seems like he's a little out of it. I don't know if he's going to be good for the state. Dr. Oz, he's a doctor. He's well-spoken. I think he probably knows what he's doing, but, I got to vote for Fetterman." That sums up our country right there.
Yeah, and I just smacked my forehead. There's ignorant and there's stupid. And ignorant you can educate, stupid is forever.
There's a lot of that in this world now.
Yeah, liberalism is a mental disorder.
It really is. I think Mike just said ouch in the live chat. I wonder if he's had the audio up and it was that guy keying, which again sounded like a two-tone.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Hey, right above 3990. Well, actually, I'm zoomed in pretty good. Hold on. Let me see what I'm trying to tell you guys. Now I'm zoomed out fully. Hold on.
I see one little line right there above 3990. Now, I do see that, Doug. Since you said that, yes, I do.
Yeah, if you zoom in, it's actually 4 lines. So I'm wondering, that's what I was wondering, if it's local to me or if you guys are seeing that.
I just see one line. I don't see 4.
One line here.
So 3990, 500, and then, hold on.
I see 2 lines, Doug. One's a 39.5, and then the other one's at 39.5 high, or a little bit over that.
Yeah, the second one's at 39.1.400, and then there's 2 more. All right, so it's not local to me. It's something out there. There's one at 39.92, 100, and then there's one above that.
I can't anymore.
And then do you see the one right underneath 4 megahertz?
No, I don't. I see one, the next one down, but I do not see the one directly underneath the 4 megahertz. I don't see that one.
I do.
Yep, and then there's one right below that one too, right above us if you're zoomed in, like 3999.4.
I see it, but it's not as strong to me as the other ones.
Yeah, so like that's something that's not here ever, and now we've got to. So and DJ and I are seeing it, which means it's probably something up north. What the heck could that be? Because that's got to be something big. Okay, what the heck was that? I got to look in this closet. I just heard something. I wonder if it's a little rodent.
I'm gonna tune real quick. Let me tune real quick.
KC2QMA.
Good evening, John. Yeah, I had a rodent, actually two rodents in our generator. I went walking by it and I could see the little foam from the air filter down in the base of our standalone generator, Briggs. And oh man, I had that happen 2 years ago. So took the box. I have a box I put over it for snow reasons, and took the lid off. And yeah, he'd eaten the filter. So anyhow, long story short, one took off. The other one I found chewed up by the fan blades there. So cleaned everything all up. It took me a while to get all the stuff blown out. I got my air compressor hose out there and cleaned it all out and that. So yeah, so it was a pretty mess there. So I got to get it. The air filter's okay, but there's a green foam that goes around it, which really don't need it because it's not dusty there. But anyhow, that's what he was eating and trying to make a nest in that on top of the flywheel where the blades are, cooling fan blades. So one got schmucked and the other one got away.
Well, at least you got one out of the two.
Yeah. So I built, like I said, a doghouse over it. So I put two mouse traps with peanut butter in around the generator there. So hopefully, if the other one comes back or any more, they'll get snapped up in that. So, but and then I couldn't get the generator to go to automatic again, so I just kind of left it. And then I came back and something had to reset, I guess, because I started it up several times manually, and then it wouldn't go to automatic, but it's on automatic again now. So, yeah, it's just there's always something when you've got mechanical stuff. And man, on the farm there's always stuff that you're having to fix and that. But all I got here is the generator to look after, so I guess I shouldn't complain.
So when we moved in, I had there's an exterminator contract that came with the house because the people that sold me the house still had it. So they came. I have it for like 2 more years. It's all paid for. So they spray outside and everything, and then they set mouse traps. So I caught 2 mice when we moved in the basement. The basement wasn't finished. And then we had the basement finished. I had them take all the traps, and then I had them come back and put a few in the areas that aren't finished, like in the closets, storage areas. And we caught 1 more. And there's probably about 15 traps down here, and I don't catch anything after that. I have them in the garage. I haven't caught anything, but I'm in the middle of the woods, so I'm sure they're getting in somehow. And hello, John. Sounding good.
Yeah, sure. They sure are cute, but you definitely don't want them in your infrastructure of your house. That's for sure. Yeah, good evening. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you just gotta try to seal up all the little nooks and crannies, as they say, and just try to find a way to keep them from getting in. Yeah, I guess you said you have a service. They put some, I guess, baits or something out in the property. Well, you do what you can, but that's all you can do. Anyway, good evening, KC2QMA.
The thing with they come because you've got food somewhere for them. If you got dog food or cat food or something. Of course, if you got a cat, the cat should take care of the mice. If it's a good mousing cat, otherwise forget it. I have traps. I just bought traps at the hardware store, and I just put peanut butter on them and set them in the garage. And I just set one, and I was walking into the house, snap, and I thought, holy mackerel! So I threw it in the garbage and reset it with some fresh peanut butter. A couple hours later, I went back out there. That was the second one, and I haven't got any more in the garage. But the one outside, because I have chicken feed out in the chicken pen there, I think that's why they're around. So, but they've got none in the house. Only had it in the garage a couple of times, but that's about it. So if they just stay out there, that's fine.
Yeah. So we're on a very big hill, and the driveway's long, and it's pretty inclined. So a lot of the day, we leave one of our garage doors open. We get deliveries in there, everything. And then I have 22 steps to my front door. So the delivery drivers don't want to walk up the steps. So I leave the garage door open. They leave stuff for me right in the garage. which is not bad when it's raining. So with that door being open, things can run in and out. But they even put under my deck, I have those big black rat baiting stations. So they put one under the deck and one on the side of the house. After it was out there 2 months, when the guy came back, I said, open that thing up. I want to see if there's any activity. Nothing was eaten. But, I don't mind a mouse or two. Luckily, knock on wood, not that I know of, I've ever had a rat in the house. That is something I would not want.
Yeah, well, I guess, like I said, try to seal off as many little small spaces, and I guess try to keep the door closed if you can. But they're not too bad. I mean, it's when they get into the walls and shit like that, forget it. But if they're just running along the floor, you can just capture them.
Yeah, and you don't want chipmunks or squirrels either. And Doug, Jeff had a question. You guys doubled a little bit there. Go ahead and ask your question, Jeff.
Oh, Jeffrey, you still there?
Well, he was asking if you're putting up a 160 doublet.
I haven't decided yet. I gotta see. I want it to all be one piece. So but I also am not mentally ill, where I know if you solder another piece of wire to make it longer, and it's wrapped well, and you heat shrink it, it's going to be just fine. Like it'll still work great. It's not going to degrade the signal at all because it's soldered. So I might start with 80 and see how it looks. And if I could get another, what I'm actually going to do, DJ, because right now I'm 140 feet. The new one's going to be 125. I'm going to make it the appropriate length for an 80-meter doublet. See how much room I have on there, and then see if I can fit another 75 feet on each end, and I'll just solder it on.
Yeah, you could probably get away with 210. Just got 212. That's their 214. Mine was 212, my first one. But, you can add to it. That's no problem. But you have lots of wires, so why not make it longer and just fold it so that it'll be for 80. And then if you ever wanted to, unfold it to the 160 length.
Yeah, I could do that also. I definitely could do that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to get it up during Christmas week. And John, I'm putting up a new doublet because a better built one. This one I have out there is pieced together in multiple places. And now that the trees are down, I think I could get the new one 80 feet up in the air. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice project for the winter for sure. KC2QMA.
KB2UKA. And John, I'm on a new microphone.
What you got today?
I am on the Warm Audio 47 with the separate power supply, the tube large condenser.
Okay, yeah, that's like the U47 clone, yeah. Yeah, Warm Audio, they have a bunch of nice products. Even some of their outboard gear is pretty good. The compressors and mic pre's.
Yep. It's a beautiful microphone, and it is warm. I heard it immediately. I had to adjust the EQ a little bit. I know there's still a lot of low end in there, but boy, did it brought the low end out even more. I had to drop it.
Well, it sounds pretty damn good to me. I'm listening from like practically 0 out to 4K, and it sounds pretty damn balanced. Do you have some reverb on as well?
I do. Are you hearing it?
It's just a little bit in the background. I didn't know if it was a little bit of the room that you were in or if you were adding that in yourself.
No, I'm adding it. It's not a lot. The room's pretty dead. I have enough treatment up that it's pretty dead. Okay, that would be better. I'm reading what Mike's saying. Yeah, if I might do an inverted V. This way I get a little bit more omnidirectional on the doublet.
I guess it kind of depends on what you're looking for too. If you're looking for more DX or more like stateside stuff, that makes a big difference in the way you position the antenna.
Yeah. Well, right now, I don't know if you remember, the antenna, the apex or the feed point of this one was up about 60 feet, and then the rope snapped. So now the antenna is up about 40 feet. So I've got my 1,000 foot of Dacron rope here. I'm just going to leave this like this for now until I put the new one up. And in fact, I might leave this one out there for testing for a little bit. The only problem is it's ladder line, so my testing would require me to go outside and unhook the lower ladder line and hook up the higher ladder line.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the butt. Well, it sounds like you'll have some nice antenna choices once you get everything situated. And, yeah, that'll work out awesome, actually.
Yep. And then the last antenna project that I'd like to do this winter is put up and I haven't researched it that much, but a 20-meter delta loop vertically polarized facing northeast for DX.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think, yeah, we're about, I mean, you're about 35 over at this point, and I think we're about 80 miles apart, like straight, if you were to draw a line. And I mean, I'm shooting across the water over to Long Island, but you're on the other side of the island, so it's doing good. I mean, your signal is excellent, even just this close, and yet even Florida's hearing you good, and even further up north is doing good. So what you're on now is working excellent for stateside.
Well, see, that's always the concern, right? Like, I was at 60 feet. A lot of people are telling me at 40 feet I'm actually louder. Like, what happens at 80? Do I go to S8 to you guys? I don't know. So I have to find that balance.
Well, an inverted V is a good option, I will say, because, excuse me, you can definitely, get 160 if you want. Excuse me, got something in my throat.
Furball.
I hate when that happens. Yeah, but that'll give you a good pattern too for both DX and stateside. If you can get that center point up nice and high, that would work good too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to have a rope over an 80-foot tree that I'm going to put 2 zip ties tight, 2 very heavy-duty zip ties on the center support of the doublet. And then I'm going to put a 3rd zip tie going perpendicular through them. And then I'm going to tie the rope to that 3rd zip tie. And I'm going to hoist that bastard as high up that 80-foot tree as I can out in the open. And then I'll see what it does to the legs. And then I'll put tension on the legs and see what we got.
Norway 2 Queen 5.
Oh boy, now it's definitely, the cabs are here, the Jersey Shore's here, I got all my Jersey guys, let's go boys.
Let's go. What's up, Dougie? What's up, John? I don't know who else is in there. Norway 2, Quebec 5.
I guess I should say, forget about it.
Canadians here, eh?
Hey, it's DJ. Hello. And it's Jim Tan Laundry. How you know how it goes?
That reminds me of that Donnie Brasco line where he's like, what's forget about it mean? He's like, oh, you know. He's like, what's better, a Lincoln or a Cadillac? A Cadillac, forget about it. Or what's better, a blonde or a brunette? Well, that really depends. But, brunettes, forget about it. But sometimes forget about it just means forget about it.
It's like one of the best lines.
It's a great movie. Great movie.
I argue it's one of my favorite mob movies, actually.
Yeah, and it's probably one that I've watched the least.
I don't know, Goodfellas, it's just, I've seen it so many times and kind of over it already.
You know what the problem now is with Goodfellas? And De Niro ruined everything for me with his opening his mouth instead of just being an actor.
You know what? That might be the issue I have with it. That's interesting.
He went on a rant the other day. I forgot where he was. He was winning an award maybe, or he was interviewed. It came out of left field. It had nothing to do with politics. And he brings up Donald Trump and went on a rant.
I think that was at Washington, D.C. at some award ceremony that they were giving him. And he turned on the people that were giving him the award.
Unbelievable.
You know, it's crazy. Is like a couple of months back, somebody broke into his Soho apartment and got pretty far in there. It was some crazy lady, and he was really upset about all that. And of course, you see what's going on in New York City. It's falling apart. I don't think these people have realized that. The days of being a celebrity and being safe in New York City, that shit is gone. You're crazy if you think you're safe there now.
She made it. You're right. She made it deep into his apartment and was stopped. Okay, and talk about it being at your front door, and he's still going. They'll dig in even more as the city's burning itself down.
See, I got to tell you, we have two different perspectives. You guys say she made it pretty far in, and I say she didn't make it far enough.
Well, she'll agree with you.
So, the glass is half full or the glass is half empty? I'm the glass is half full kind of guy.
Well, it's a good thing the person wasn't there to kill them. They were there to steal stuff,
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing.
Oh,
You know what's funny? De Niro has a carry permit. It was made public like 10 years ago. So it's okay, all right? He's got a carry permit, but he's ultra left. It's very funny.
It's like someone kicked him in the head and it never, came back the right way. I don't know. I mean, the guy used to be a great actor and was in a lot of great movies and did a lot of great things. And then, they just get to this point where, they don't even realize, like, the people that are setting their feet on fire are the people that they're supporting.
No, he's just a great big ass.
Now listen, do as I say, not as I do, okay, you plebes?
KC2QMA.
Oh, VH3 KBC, bottom of the hour.
KB2 UKA, live from Fort Salonga.
And to QQF. And I like the sound of the new mic, Doug. Sounds good.
Yes, I think it, I think without doing much of the EQ, it smoothed off my top end. It brought the low end way up that I had to reduce the low end on the EQ. But I think it's pretty well balanced.
Gives it a fatness on the bottom.
Yes. Well, I guess they don't call the company Warm Audio for nothing.
Did you say it gives a fatness to the bottom?
And that's my favorite part.
Any over you.
Fat bottom girls.
They make the rockin' world go round.
Oh, Frank. And by the way, Frank, just so you know, Frank, I now identify as a liberal politician, so I am not accountable for anything I say or do to anyone.
I identify as a rock.
I wonder if I commit tax evasion, if I go to court and I decide to identify as Hunter Biden, if they'll let me off.
I was just gonna say you only get that if you identify as Hunter Biden.
Yeah, listen, okay? The most liberal state in the country, even more liberal than Jersey and New York and Connecticut probably combined, is prosecuting Hunter Biden for tax evasion, okay? There is definitely something they don't want us looking at right now.
Buddy, this is all a ruse to get him out of office, get the father out of office.
Yep, this is the beginning of it. They're going to move swiftly. They're going to link things to Joe, that he's going to be gone, and whoever they think is the Trump stopper, they're going to put in, which may be Michelle Obama.
The same thing, sorry.
Michelle Obama, if they put her in, it's over. Trump's not winning.
Yeah, getting him on tax evasion is like the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, they're using it as a ruse to go after the father. I'll be listening here. I'm doing something in the background.
I hit the monitor button instead of the Mox button. I said if they get him out and put Michelle Obama in, Trump's not winning. It's over.
I don't know about that, Doug. I don't think that it'll go the way you think.
The problem is, DJ, every middle to upper middle to even affluent white housewife, she'll snag that vote right from under him with not even a break in a sweat.
I don't know this time whether they will. Now, it'll all depend what she's going to run on, what the message is going to be, what they're going to be campaigning on. That's going to have a bearing too. But I don't think she's got a lock like people think she could or he could. Big Mike.
You know what though? I honestly think, Doug and DJ, I think what's happening is people around this country and around the world are starting to wake up to what the hell's going on. And they're starting to see a pattern. You know, they're seeing governments all around the world having wars for no reason at all other than to steal resources and to steal oil, and it's for money. It's never for safety and security. And, just this long history we've had now of doing these things, people are starting to realize, you can only play the same song so many times until people get sick of it, you know what I mean? You can only play the same, we should be afraid of the Russians. It's like, we did that in the 50s. And then we did it in the 80s. Now we're going to do it again. I mean, come on, people. And that's the thing, that they're running out of stuff to do now. You can't really fool society like as easy as you used to be able to.
Well, look at Argentina with Javier Milei. He's far-right president. The Czech Republic, they voted in a new president, and he's right. The Netherlands, Holland, the Dutch, they voted in, what's his name now? Wilder, Geert Wilder, and he's right-wing. So there is a lot of people, like you say, John, they are waking up to what's going on to them with the woke and the liberal agendas and all this kind of stuff. So there is an awakening. Things don't stay the same. They do change, and we're starting to see the change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when it starts to directly affect you, when you feel it at the gas pump, or when you feel it when you go to buy food, Or when you send your kid to school and you find out they're reading some kind of sexually explicit material to them during the day while you're at work. When you find out all these things and you start realizing, wait a second, this isn't the world that we grew up in. Like, what the hell is wrong here? Something's wrong. Something is wrong, and we've got to fix it, you know?
Oh yeah, the problem, the scary thing is with Michelle Obama, because Newsom he can beat. I think he could beat Newsom, no problem. Michelle Obama, she's well spoken, she's intelligent. No matter what you want to say about her, she has no real scandal linked to her. Okay, you have. And I've spoken to them. You have I know liberals that put their head down and say, I think I've got to vote for Trump this time because of everything you just said, John. Everything you just said. You could be, a bleeding heart liberal, but you might still have a brain, and you see what's going on, and no matter how much you hate this guy, his policies made the country the strongest it's been in decades. Not just from a security standpoint, but economical also. And now you've got to, you got to curse yourself that you got to go vote for this guy. And here's a new opponent by the name of Michelle Obama. I don't know. I think she takes it from him. And I am a staunch MAGA Republican, and I think she takes it from him.
I don't think Michelle Obama is even going to be a player in this game. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think she's even going to be a player. I think they're going to try to run Weekend at Bernie's version 2 with Biden. They're going to try. I don't know. We'll see if he can make it one more year, until the election. But yeah, they're going to try to possibly squeeze Gavin Newsom in there. But the thing is, I don't think people can even stomach any of the Democrats at this point, because I really think there's a lot of people that normally would have voted Democrat that, even though they're going to probably throw up into a bucket doing it, some of them are going to vote for Trump, because they realize it's either they vote for him, who's pretty much going to be the candidate, or you vote for Weekend at Bernie's, a guy you clearly have to admit isn't really running anything. He's just a guy that walks around and looks at the camera or reads a screen or reads a script. The deep state's got full control, and he's just out there dancing around and being a goofball.
Hey, I agree with you, John. Michelle Obama, Big Mike's too lazy to be act as president, so I don't think she would want that. He would want that position.
They are the only first family, I think, in I think it was like the last 80 years to stay living in D.C. because they got to be close, because they're up to something. And who the hell wants to stay in D.C. when you got that much money? At least go to Bethesda, Maryland. You're close. They are in D.C.
I think it's more likely that Hillary would try to stick her frickin' nose in it again, because she's that crazy and that greedy and that maniacal. If anything, I would see her popping out of the woodwork at the last minute and pretending that she's going to save the day. But we'll see. KC2QMA.
KB2UKA, and I don't disagree with that. She's psychological. She's a psychopath. She needs to run.
I'm 71 years old. I've been through a lot of elections with scrutiny in a bunch of them, and voted different ones. I voted for Pierre Trudeau when I was younger and stupid. I voted for Bob Ray in the provincial. That was the biggest mistake I ever made as far as NDP, and I said never again, never Liberal nor NDP. So, but you just, when it comes to politics and that, you can never, ever, ever, ever predict what's going to happen. So we just don't know what's going to happen. Who would have ever thought that Biden would have won the nomination, let alone the presidency? Of course, well, he did win the presidency. It was stolen, but as I say, when it comes to politics, you just can never, ever, ever predict.
Well, you kind of had that awakening, that experience that made you see things in a clearer light. And I think that same experience you had is what a lot of people are having here in this country. Absolutely.
Captain, my captain. Good to see you, brother.
That, I mean, I would give you from the the left. They had Bernie Sanders running, right? And Bernie was this guy who got the left all excited, and he was telling them all the stuff they wanted to hear. And we got a revolution. We're gonna get everybody together, and we're gonna fight these oligarchs. Blah 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 blah. Right? And then at the last minute, his own party, keep this in mind, the Democratic Party, he was an independent and then switched to the Democrats to run. The party cheated him. His own party cheated him. Now that shows you right there how out of their minds and how drunk with power the Democratic Party has gotten. Then I'll give you another example. Tulsi Gabbard was going to run. She's a lieutenant colonel currently serving. She was a congresswoman from Hawaii for many years. The Democratic Party didn't like her. They didn't like what she had to say, and they called her a Russian. Could you imagine that? A person currently serving in the military of the United States, they called a Russian. So that's two people right in their own party that they're willing to cheat. And I always say, if the Democratic Party is willing to cheat their own candidates to make sure that they get to install who they want, then you know they're willing to cheat certainly the other side in any way possible.
Oh, hold on. I got to change the subject. Do I have it? Did you guys see the message from Apache Labs about the 1 kilowatt G2?
Yeah, they've got so many orders, they put it on hold that you can't place an order until they get these filled.
Well, that's not what I just read. What I just read, and this is one of the guys posted the message because he ordered one. This is the email. Let me paraphrase it. They were running into problems with a single LD MOS device, and they were noticing that above 700 watts, it was extremely nonlinear. Pure Signal corrected it, but they transitioned to a dual ART 1K60, okay? During the burn-in testing, they realize now that they can do a legal limit rig now. They have a DC external power supply issue. Even a 4-foot long DC supply cable was causing a voltage drop, affecting Pure Signal operation. Long story short, now it can operate on 120 to 250 volt AC, which resolved the voltage drop issue. They have to redesign the chassis. And now it costs $5,595. And if you're still interested and you ordered a 1 kilowatt rig that is not going to ship now, they'll send you the invoice for the difference.
Hey, wait a second. Wait. Okay. First of all, yeah, I saw that. I see the thing on their site. There's a picture of it. So now it's a 1,500 watt rig. Now let me give you the flip side of this, Doug. Think about the people who ordered it when it was just going to be a 500 watt rig, and they've been able to get the free upgrade to the 1,000 watt rig, which is now going to become the 1,500 watt rig. So they're going to have to still honor those upgrades for those people. I'm telling you, those original agreements that they made, they're going to have to honor those. So those people are going to make out like bandits. They are going to end up with a rig that's 1,000 watts more powerful than the one that they originally ordered. But yeah, I can see how they're going to have to raise the price, because I knew it. I knew there was no way they were going to fit all of that into the old 8,000 case. But it sounds like they're moving along, and they finally achieved something here, which is the first fully legal limit tabletop transceiver. 1,500 watt radio in the box, pure signal, the works, SDR, 1 unit, 1 product.
I built it.
Well, that might be what they're working on, is maybe integrating the power supply into the chassis so that there is none of this, you have to go find your own power supply thing.
Well, that's what they said. It now runs on AC.
Okay, so they're integrating the power supply into the chassis. So that's it. So it's now they fully completed the circle and made it was worth the wait, in my opinion, because now it is a much more mature, much more complete, and now a complete industry game changer. Nothing is like this has ever been created before.
Let me see if I have it. Yeah, it's amazing. The problem that I have with it is, well, and I don't have a problem with it. I know Apache Labs now. I know them well enough. I'm not an appliance operator. I get it. I know if you order something from them, you better buckle up and wait. Okay, hurry up and wait. However, they went out there. They pulled the 7,000 off the website. They made the Saturn G2, they made the 500 watt, and then they said, no, we're going to make 1,000 watt, and now they're saying, okay, we're making a 1,500 watt. They did none of the testing on any of these rigs before they started taking money for them. So if you're like, let's say you're a Yaesu guy, and you keep hearing how wonderful all of us sound on these Anons, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. They should put on their website that not only is the software is open source, we are experimental, so testing, etc., and all that may happen much later than you even think this thing's going to ship. They should be more upfront about it.
Oh, I agree. That has been the thing that kind of irritates me, and I think everybody the most, is the communication is not very good at all when it comes to the development of the product. But you kind of started it off right. This whole Apache Labs thing is kind of like open source experimental thing, so you really can't, I guess, put your expectations too high for deadlines and things like that, basically.
Another thing here, guys, on QRZ, I see a Palstar auto tuner, and I think it's that older version, Kessler. It's listed on QRZ.
Oh, and the other thing is, I could see what Apache's doing now. They're trying to make everything basically a G2 series radio. They're phasing out basically the old lines of radios as far as the hardware goes. And now this is going to be a single platform, this G2 platform. I think this is what they seem to be doing here, is that it'll all be kind of the same at just various power levels that you can get it in, you know what I mean? You got your G2 100 watt without the front screen. You'll have you have the G2 100 watt with a front screen. And I'm sure there's going to be the G2 the 1500 watt radio with a screen, and probably a version of it possibly without the screen.
Holy crap. I don't know if the 1,000 watt look like this, but go to my YouTube page right now. I got it up there. This thing is gorgeous. I'm going to put it up there now.
Yeah, I'm on their website. I'm looking at the photographs they must have posted today.
Well, Is that the same one I posted on Signal Deck?
I don't know. It's I didn't see yours. This one's gray.
Yeah, it's a gray 19-inch rack mount box.
Yeah, that's what I posted. Now it did say, please note pictures of unit will be updated shortly.
Yeah, Doug, if you look at these pictures in detail, they're just like hacked together. This thing isn't even a finished chassis. It's kind of like a crude metal experimental box at this point. But I guess that's generally the idea. It's going to be some big, because it's going to have to be. It's 1,500 watts of power it's got to dissipate. So it's going to have to be a big box, and it looks like they're going to make it rack mountable, which is smart. And obviously it'll be like a big perforated metal thing with cooling fans and stuff. So yeah, I'm glad to see it. I mean, at least there's progress. That's a lot more than we could say for what's going on over that at the good old Flex Radio place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's holes all over the chassis for heat dissipation. I don't know, man. Like the heat sink, that's... My amplifier weighs 45 pounds, this VK amp. And, you know, I bought myself an external fan to put behind it to blow the hot air that comes out of the left side, which I have like I just hit the mic, sorry. I have like a valley, like a 5-inch valley between the amp and my tuner. So I have a fan right behind that valley that blows the hot air out towards me. This thing after like a minute of talking, I get up to 40 degrees. It never has gone over 43, even with FT8. But I'm saying that Apache's probably got to be heavy, you would think, right?
Yeah, but see, this is a good thing. I'm glad. I think it should be big, because here's the thing about getting rid of heat. You have only two ways you can pretty much do it. You could do it passively, or you could do it actively with like a fan or something like that, or water cooling, right? The trade-offs are, passively, you have to have a lot of mass, a big-ass heat sink, basically. But the advantage to that is you don't need any loud fans, potentially, because it's got so much mass to get rid of that heat that before you ever got that thing hot enough, the little fan would just turn off and keep it nice and cool. The other way of doing it, you can make the amp really small on the extreme level and use water cooling. So the amp can be really small, and you have the water block and the hoses that go out, and then it goes into a cooling tank. So I actually think this way is going to be more reliable and more practical for people. And I think the fact that they make it rack mount kind of indicates to me, okay, here's an example of something that you put in a rack off to the side in the side of your room, away from your desk, and you sit at your computer and you control the radio from your computer, but the rack mount box can sit over in a corner in a rack, or if you're really slick, it could be down in your garage or in your basement or something like that. And you got legal limit power, and then all you got to do is get the auto tuner, and you're rocking and rolling. KC2QMA.
I could literally sell I could sell right now probably, I don't know, what's a 7,000 DLE go for? I could easily get, $3,500 for the amp. I could, and I don't know what a 7,000 goes for anymore. 3? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably 3 or something like that.
So I could sell these 2 pieces of equipment and buy 1 piece of equipment and have more room on my desk and my area.
Well, I think this is where the future is going, which is the concept of a radio server, right? Where you really don't need the actual radio on your desk necessarily. It could be, in a closet. It could be, wherever. It could just be off your desk. And in this case, because it's got a built-in 1500 watt legal limit amplifier, it doubles as a radio and an amplifier. So yeah, that would be a great candidate for something that, and by the way, yes, because we run it with a computer with Thetis, for example, we don't need to sit in front of that thing. We could stick that thing in a closet, close the door, run cool air in there, and forget about it, and have an absolutely silent shack while we sit in front of our computer and operate the radio right there. You know what I'm saying? So that, I think that's where the future of like the modern SDR kind of shack is going to be, is like the radio server concept.
On QTH, there's a Flex 6600 for $3,790. Like new, $1,000 less than new. So that gives you an idea of what 6600 used is going for. So about a year old.
Yeah, I have one sitting here. I use it for FT8. I've got a $3,800 FT8 machine.
Well, keep a fire extinguisher next to it.
Well, that's, you know what's funny? I only use it remote. I come down here in the morning. I tune on like 17 or 15 meters, because remember, I don't know of a balanced auto tuner. I wish they had one. But I tune on 17 or 15 at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I get in my car. I open up the SDR app on my iPhone. I click CQ. And I get weird countries that are hearing me on 17 meters at 6:30 in the morning. And then I get to work. I disconnect my iPhone from Smart SDR. I open up my iPad and I do my work while I'm doing FT8. And it works flawlessly.
There's an Apache Labs 2000 or 200D for $1,700.
I should buy that for my POTA rig. I want to get into POTA. That would be a cool POTA rig. That, you know, no, forget that. I'm gonna get a Hermes Light 2 for POTA.
Yeah.
Lots of flexes for sale. Yaesu FTDX 10s, 7610s, 7100s, 756 Pro 3.
You know what I think's going to happen too? I think the little sneaky thing in the corner that nobody's paying attention to yet is the Hermes Light 2. I think that continues to get developed, and lately at a more rapid pace, because there's been a lot more interest in them, and I can see in the very near future them putting together something that's kind of like, a legal limit rig maybe, or a 500 watt rig or something like that, where it's the Hermes Light and a full power, a good power amplifier built into one package at a ridiculously affordable price. As you know, those Hermes things are very affordable. If they can pull that off, to me, my opinion is that will be like the equivalent of like what the ICOM 7300 did to the industry, because the 7300 pretty much changed the entire radio industry. So I think that's a possibility. The Hermes is something to keep an eye on. I think it's not already, I don't think it's a fully developed product yet. I don't think it's as good in quality as far as hardware as the Apache is. Of course, the software is the same as the Apache, it's Thetis, but the hardware is definitely not as good. But then the price is, there you go. The price is so much less. So it's all perspective, I guess, right? What you're getting for your value.
Well, there's that gentleman who takes those Hermes lights now and puts them in a box and a screen, and it's beautiful. So think about it, like I could take this amp that's already built and have a larger case made for it, and put another screen on top of the amp control screen, And I could have it all in one like that, too. You could do that.
BA3 KBC, top of the hour.
KC2 QMA. Coming.
KB2 UKA. Anyone else still out there? Frank, you there?
The Apache Labs, they have a case for the Hermes.
Yeah, I just saw that. They just posted that today, I guess.
Now, what confuses me when I started looking at Apache Labs probably like almost 4 years ago, they used to sell a Hermes. Did they create it originally?
I don't think Apache Labs created the Hermes. I believe that was an open source project, but I think Apache Labs commercialized it. They turned it into a commercial product, and developed it.
So which one do you have, John? Do you have the G2 with the screen? Is that the rig that you're on now?
I have the one without the screen, just the standard black face.
Okay, and that's the one Art has also, correct?
Yes, that's the one he got recently. Yeah, I got the first batch.
Do you see any benefit in upgrading from a 7000 to that?
Well, it's a tough one because it depends on how you were going to use the radio. If right now you're just going to use it with the computer on your desk only, then there'd probably be no reason to rush out at the moment. However, in the near future, there's going to be remote capability similar to like the Flex. And then if you wanted to also operate the radio standalone without any external computer, all G2 radios, all of them, have a built-in computer. Even my blackface one that has nothing on the front, if I plug a keyboard, a mouse, and a monitor into it, I can use the built-in Raspberry Pi version of the SDR software standalone, just with the radio. So that is the one thing about the G2 platform, is that they all can be operated standalone.
Okay. John, Art says that the audio in them is stronger as well. So what do they have if you're going to be using the internal computer? What do they have for audio setup? With the what do I want to say here? Thetis. We have the 10 band parametric and the CFC. What's in the G2 then if you just use the internal computer with Linux?
The G2 has the Pi SDR software, and although I haven't really used it myself, I use it with an external computer. It is supposedly very close to Thetis, minus certain things. It does have pure signal, which it didn't have like a year or two ago. So it has even that. But I think as far as audio, yes, that's true. All the G2s now have better audio, and that's partly because now if you do decide to run the audio directly into the radio has a preamp board built into it now. It's a separate board that has good quality audio components on it, and it's a balanced input also. So that's the improvement. You actually have a balanced input over the older radios. So I think Art's using it the way I'm using it too, which is we're sending audio into the radio analog through the balanced input. You can also do it over VAC. That's a whole other way, which using a USB audio interface and all that stuff. But so yes, the G2 does have better audio because it has better audio hardware.
Okay.
All right, and then this Pi SDR, what's the operating system that's running inside the radio?
Linux.
It is Linux, so I'm assuming there's an SSD in there. Are you able to install other Linux software on it?
Yes, but I don't know what size the drive that comes with it is. I believe it uses an SD card as a solid-state memory device.
Because I don't know if Scott is still running Linux. I would assume he is. But he uses, I think it's called Audio Jack. He uses I believe a DAW on Linux. So I'm wondering if you could get a DAW on that darn thing and do all your processing right in the radio.
I'm not sure. Now, that would be something that somebody that's really good with Linux and the Raspberry Pi would have to tell you, because I don't know how much horsepower it would take to do that, and I don't know how much DSP power the Raspberry Pi has to do that. It might be able to do that. I don't know. I think it's a Raspberry Pi 4, which is in there now, and my understanding is that you can upgrade it to the Raspberry Pi 5, which is even more powerful. So there's some interesting stuff there about the internal computing.
Very, very cool stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night on here. I'll catch you guys in the AM. I will be on tomorrow morning, at least for 45 minutes to an hour. So John, DJ, 73, anyone else out there listening, 73, you guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll catch you again. This is KB2UKA live from Fort Salonga, going QRT. Go ahead, DJ.
Oh, hold up, Doug.
Oh, hello, Dominic.
Have a good rest of the evening, and go ahead there, John, and then Dominic can pick it up. VA3KBC.
All right, Doug, 7-3, and I think Dom just came in there. All right, you have a great evening, Doug, and microphone is sounding warm, and it's got a fat bottom, yeah.
Well, that's how I like it. What's up, Dominic?
You sound really good. Did you do anything with your antenna?
No, it's still the same. I'm building a new one that I'm going to put up way up high, but that's probably not going to be for another 2 weeks. So this bad boy's still 40 some odd feet in the air.
Yeah, get 15 over, almost tagging 20. All right, just wanted to jump in there before you left. W4D on me. Good evening, everybody.
All right, good to hear you, Dominic. I'll be on tomorrow morning, so hopefully I catch you then. KB2 UK clear. All right, guys, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you tomorrow.